August 7th, 2026. All right, everything is changing rapidly for me. When you're a developing trader, when you're learning, especially if you're on your own, you don't have really any mentors, you're not at a professional firm or anything like that, you're literally on your own. You go through a lot of changes and iterations and development. You go through a lot of change in your learning years. Okay, so before you get to the earning years, you're in your learning years, and there's a lot of change, right? So, I mean, my whole trading philosophy is different now from what it was just a few weeks ago. I mean, I'm a whole different person. I'm a whole different trader now. So, what do I mean by that? I only trade from 9:30 to 11:30 now. I don't even mess with the rest of the market. I don't even care about it. And it didn't used to be that way. But I'm free now. I don't feel like I have to trade at a specific time. I don't even feel like I have to trade every day. I'm free. And what I do every day is I go to all of my stocks. I've got 8 of them that I go through every single day. And I from 9:30 to 11:30 for this 2-hour gap, I just look for my setup, the very first occurrence of my setup, not the second, not the third. I look for the first manifestation of my setup. I take that trade, and then I leave that stock alone for the rest of the day. And I do that with all 8 of them. So in NASDAQ today, we had a market open here. You can see we consolidated all day. We didn't really produce much. But after 9:30 occurred, our first alignment started presenting itself to us. And it happened at exactly 10:24 right here. This was the alignment that you could have taken today. And let's look at it real quick. The 1-hour momentum is telling us we're only looking for longs. We're not going to take shorts. So now we want to wait for the 15-minute momentum to really be moving in the direction of this 1-hour bias. The 1-hour bias is telling us longs. So we don't want the 15-minute momentum tapering off like this. We don't want the 15-minute in the red. We don't want the 15-minute selling off. We want it to be expanding in the direction of the trade or holding in the correct aligned region, like for example in the green, because this is in the green, right? So this is 9:30 right here. Market opens, and then we get to 9:30 where I start trading. And the 15 is in the red at this point and selling off, so we're not interested. We go forward in time. Still not interested. Keep your eyes right here. Keep your eyes right here. Go forward in time. Still not interested. Go forward in time. Still not interested. Still not interested. Now it's starting to pull up. Now we're getting close. You can see that we're actually expanding in the direction of the trade. So we keep going. We go. Now we're in the process of crossing over. So we go and we look for the first realignment that occurs on our 2-minute chart or on our 3-minute chart. That occurs right here, my friends. We sell off. We sell off. We're not going up yet. Remember, this is telling us to go up. The 15-minute has been telling us to go up for 30, 45 minutes now. It's been working up. So now this, we're waiting for the first realignment that aligns with these. Selling off, selling off, selling off, selling off. Realign to the upside. That's your entry right there. 10:24. So that was the first setup that happened today in NASDAQ that you could have taken. It was this candle, stop loss right at the base of that candle. Your 1-to-1 was hit in 3 minutes, and it's even achieved a 1-to-2 as well. So that was a good trade for today. So then we move on. Here's my 8 stocks. Then we move on. Let's move on to Palantir. In Palantir, same thing happened. We're looking for long. So now we wait for the first realignment to occur. We're selling off. All of this selling off. We want that to align to the upside, and it happens right here. This is where it happens. Let's see how it looked. And that was a win with a 1-to-1. The actual alignment was right here. Now, I only got a win. I'll be honest. I only got a win because I had my take profit slightly below. Just because of happenstance, I had my take profit slightly below the correct 1-to-1, right? Like it was like around here. So I luckily got the win. But this would have been a loss, technically. This could have been a loss, could have been a win, depending on how you play it. Now, remember, you don't have to do the full candle length. So for my stop loss, I use the stop loss, and this is my entry candle right here. So I put my stop loss right at the base of that candle, right? And if you had done that, you definitely would not have gotten the win. It got like 2 or 3 pennies away from the 1-to-1, right? So it would have been a loss. But keep in mind, you can cut it a little short. You can cut it a little short. You can cut it a little bit short. It depends on the relative ATR, average true range. Look at these candles. All of these candles, we'll call them 5 inches. 5 inches, 5 inches, 5 inches, right? But this is like almost 10 inches. So if you've got a candle that's larger than the average true candle size of the recent past, you don't have to do the whole range. You can cut it a little bit short, in which case you would have secured your win for sure. So anyway, let's go on to Tesla. Tesla had one at 10:21 was the first alignment here. You can see the alignment occurring. Now, let me be clear. Was this the first one of the day? No. The first one of the day was right here. So remember, I was saying I only take the first setup, and I let the rest of the day go. I don't worry about the second or third or fourth setup. I take the first setup that occurs. So this is 9:30 right here. And look what happens. At 9:30 on the dot. I'm sorry, this is 9:21. This is a few minutes before 9:30. 9:30 is right here. That's 9:30. So this setup happened a few minutes right before 9:30. Am I going to ignore it if it's a beautiful setup? No, I'm still going to take it. I'm not a robot. I'm not going to wait exactly till 9:30. These are just guidelines. So right before 9:30, we had a nice, perfect realignment. Look at this realignment and momentum. Look at how flawless this is. And look at how the realignment correlates with a volume confluence. The volume accelerating. Huge volume confluence occurring at this time. So that was another win right there. That was a beautiful win. That kept running to a 1-to-4, 1-to-5 ratio. That was a huge win. Let's go on to NVIDIA. NVIDIA had the same thing happen. Its first alignment manifestation occurred at 9:18. So even earlier. So 9:30 is here. So this happened maybe about 10 minutes before the official 9:30 window. So that's fine. That doesn't matter. If it's a nice setup, it's a nice setup. That was also a win. Amazon, first alignment happened here at 9:21. Also a win. You can see that NVIDIA, Amazon, Tesla, they all had their same setups around the same time, and that's because the market does breathe in harmony a lot of times. S&P. When was the first setup in S&P? Let's see. We go to 9:30. 9:30 is here. At 9:30, the 15 is not aligned yet. The 1 hour is telling us to go for longs. The 15 has been selling off in the wrong direction, so we wait for the 15 to cross over, or at least start to cross over, which it had not yet. It was in the red at this time, so that's not a valid setup right here. This is not a valid setup. By the time we do get a valid setup, it's right here. That's the first realignment, because the momentum's selling off, and then it realigns to the upside, changing the distribution of probabilities. And look, I actually traded this, and it was a loss, by the way. And just by a penny. Like, look at this. It came down just barely past that entry candle, so that was a loss in SPY. Now we go to the Meta. The Meta had one right at 9:18, a little bit early again. And this was so crystal clear. When I saw this, there was no doubt in my mind this was about to hit. Why? Because we had this happening and we had this happening. It was a perfect wedge. I mean, it's flawless flag wedge. And why did I was so confident? Why did I think, oh my God, this is perfect? Because at this time, right before I entered the position, 3 minutes before I entered the position, I'm looking, I see the 1 hour is super strong. We had a huge bullish green 1 hour momentum candle printing at this time. And then I also see the 15 had already crossed over. Look, 15 was already primed for a further expansion to the bullish side. And on the daily chart, what's been going on with Meta for the past, 6-7 market days? Well, the momentum has been continuously building in our direction as well. So I saw these things and I said, wow, this is a no-brainer. And I should have played more than a 1-to-1, but I only played the 1-to-1, and that was a win as well. But this would have reached 1-to-4, 1-to-5. Amazing trade that was. In Apple, this is the last one of the day, and then I'm going to end the video because this is all of the trades that happened today. Right here at 9:30, our MACD is telling us, our 1 hour MACD is telling us we should probably be looking for longs right now. So we wait for the first alignment to the upside. Now notice this momentum. This momentum is not going to align to the upside for a long time until right here at 10:27. That was a loss. That definitely was an alignment. It realigned, but it just was a loss. Just didn't play out, and that is all right. here's what Apple looked like on a daily basis. Look at that. What a warning that is, maybe, to avoid a long position. The daily momentum is going heavily to the downside. If you can get the daily and the hour and the 15 and the 3, if you can get all of those to align, you, my friend, have some sort of edge. I hope you have a good one. That was August 7th. I'll see you in the next one.